There is something very important you need to understand as you move into August 25th, Gemini. No matter how many times life has tried to shake your confidence, your direction, or your belief in yourself, you are still standing. And that is not an accident. You have experienced situations that could have completely changed the way you see yourself. There have been people who made you question your abilities, your decisions, and even the direction you were taking. There may have been moments when you wondered whether you were really doing the right thing. And perhaps there were also people who seemed determined to disturb your peace or make you doubt yourself. But August 25th carries a completely different message for you. You are not being asked to fight every battle. You are being reminded that some battles are already behind you. The things that once had the ability to deeply affect you are beginning to lose their influence. You are becoming stronger emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You are discovering that you don't have to answer everything, explain every decision, or prove yourself to everyone. Most importantly, you are learning that another person's behavior does not have to control how you see yourself. There is a strong message of protection surrounding you on August 25th. If recently you have felt distracted, uneasy, anxious, or uncertain about where your life is going, don't immediately assume that you have lost your direction. Sometimes life simply puts an unexpected obstacle in your path. Imagine yourself traveling along a road when suddenly you reach an uneven part of the journey. You notice it. You feel the change. For a moment, everything becomes uncomfortable, but you continue moving. That is the energy surrounding you now. There may be misunderstandings. There may be unexpected interruptions. Certain people may act differently toward you. Something may temporarily make you question your choices. But none of those things determine your final destination. August 25th is telling you to keep going. You know who you are. You know what you have already overcome. You know what you are capable of accomplishing. And there is something inside you that refuses to disappear. Gemini, one of your greatest strengths is the way your mind works. You can see connections that other people miss. You can think about a situation from different perspectives. You can notice details, possibilities, and solutions that may not be obvious to everyone else. Sometimes your way of thinking can make people curious about you. Sometimes it can make them uncomfortable. Not everyone knows how to understand somebody who thinks differently. Not everyone can celebrate another person's intelligence without comparing themselves. This may explain why certain people have entered your life appearing supportive, only to later become distant, competitive, cold, or unnecessarily critical. August 25th asks you to understand the difference between being friendly and giving everyone access to your private world. You don't have to become cold. You don't have to isolate yourself. You don't have to stop trusting people. But you do need boundaries. There are parts of your life that deserve to remain private. Your dreams deserve privacy. Your plans deserve privacy. Your next move does not need to be announced before it happens. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is quietly work toward something and allow the final result to speak for you. You may have a tendency to communicate openly when you feel comfortable with someone. Gemini energy naturally wants to share thoughts, ideas, stories, and experiences. When you connect with somebody, you may sometimes reveal more than you originally intended because the conversation feels natural. On August 25th, slow that process down. Give people time to show you who they really are through their actions. Don't judge someone only by what they promise. Notice how they behave when you succeed. Notice how they respond when you receive attention. Notice whether they genuinely celebrate your progress or immediately begin comparing themselves with you. Their behavior will reveal much more than their words. You have a generous heart, and that is something valuable. But kindness does not mean everyone deserves unlimited access to your time, attention, or energy. You can care about somebody while keeping healthy distance. You can forgive somebody without returning them to the same place in your life. You can wish someone well without continuing a connection that constantly leaves you exhausted. August 25th strongly encourages you to understand this. You don't need a huge number of people around you. You need genuine people. 1 or 2 trustworthy connections can be more valuable than a large circle filled with people who don't truly understand you. If you've recently felt alone, don't automatically assume that something is wrong with you. Sometimes solitude gives you enough space to hear your own thoughts again. You may have spent too much time trying to fit into environments where you were never supposed to make yourself smaller. You were never meant to silence your personality simply because someone else felt uncomfortable with your confidence. There may also be somebody from your past who made you question your worth. Perhaps they constantly criticized your choices. Perhaps they made your dreams sound unrealistic. Perhaps they wanted you to depend on their approval. Or maybe they tried to create distance between you and people who genuinely cared about you. Whatever happened, August 25th brings a message of release. You are allowed to move forward. You don't have to carry somebody else's opinion into your future. You don't have to prove your value to someone who already decided not to understand you. And if certain people have disappeared from your life recently, consider that their absence may have created room for something healthier. Not every ending is a loss. Some endings are protection. You are also being reminded to protect your energy by bringing your attention back to yourself. Don't constantly watch what everyone else is doing. Don't measure your progress against somebody else's timeline. Don't spend endless hours looking at things online that leave you feeling anxious, frustrated, inadequate, or overwhelmed. August 25th is asking you to step away from unnecessary noise. If you notice yourself constantly scrolling because you are trying to avoid an uncomfortable emotion, stop for a moment. Ask yourself what you actually need. Maybe you need rest. Maybe you need silence. Maybe you need to speak with someone you trust. Maybe you need fresh air. Maybe you need prayer or meditation. Maybe you need to create something. Sometimes distraction only covers an emotion for a short time. What you actually need may simply be permission to become still. You don't have to accomplish something every minute. You don't have to remain productive all day. You are a person, not a machine. There is nothing wrong with taking a breath and allowing yourself to exist without constantly trying to solve everything. Your inner world deserves attention too. On August 25th, create a calmer environment around yourself. Organize your space. Put your phone away for a while. Listen to something peaceful. Write your thoughts down. Spend time with something creative. If spiritual practices are meaningful to you, prayer or meditation can help you reconnect with your inner peace. The important message is not that you should fear invisible forces. The message is that you have more control over your attention and your choices than you sometimes realize. Don't hand your peace to people who haven't earned access to it. And don't let fear convince you that every difficult moment means something terrible is coming. Sometimes a difficult day is simply a difficult day. You can acknowledge it and keep moving. There is also a powerful message around self-worth. Someone may have made you question your abilities. Someone may have made you feel as though you weren't capable enough. Maybe they criticized your work. Maybe they questioned your intelligence. Maybe they made you doubt your personality. Maybe they repeatedly compared you with somebody else. But those thoughts don't have to become your identity. On August 25th, question the thoughts that don't sound like your true self. If an inner voice suddenly says, "I can't do this," ask yourself whether that is really your belief or whether it came from the way somebody else treated you. You don't have to accept every negative thought simply because it enters your mind. You can decide which beliefs deserve to stay. And you are stronger than you realize. There is also an adventurous and curious part of you that needs to return. Gemini energy thrives on discovery, learning, communication, new experiences, and fresh ideas. Don't lose that part of yourself. You can be responsible and still remain curious. You can be careful and still explore. You can have boundaries without becoming afraid of life. August 25th encourages you to reconnect with the part of yourself that still feels excited about what could happen next. You may also notice your dreams becoming especially memorable around this period. If you wake up remembering a dream clearly, write it down. Not every dream is a prediction, but dreams can sometimes reveal what your mind has been processing emotionally. They can bring hidden worries, hopes, memories, and ideas to the surface. Notice recurring themes. Notice the emotions. Notice what your mind repeatedly returns to. And above all, trust your ability to continue forward. You are approaching the end of an old cycle. Something is changing. You may not have every answer yet, but deep down you can feel that you are not exactly the same person you used to be. August 25th may feel like a turning point because you are beginning to understand that the old version of your mindset cannot follow you into the next chapter. You have to stop postponing the things that matter. If there is something important you've been avoiding, begin. If there is a conversation you've been delaying, consider whether it needs to happen. If there is a goal you've repeatedly promised yourself you would start later, take one small step now. You don't need to transform your entire life in one day. You simply need to stop standing still. Change often begins quietly. One decision, one boundary, one habit, one brave action, and then, months later, you realize how different your life has become. That is the energy surrounding August 25th. Movement, transition, growth. A new chapter slowly taking shape. You may even notice changes in yourself that other people recognize before you do. Someone who hasn't seen you for a long time may immediately notice that something about you is different. Not because you've become someone else, but because you are becoming more comfortable being yourself. Your confidence may be changing. Your presence may be changing. The way you communicate may be changing. The way you carry yourself may be changing. And these changes aren't about becoming perfect. They are about becoming authentic. You are learning to stop asking for permission to be who you already are. That may make certain people uncomfortable. But their discomfort is not your responsibility. You don't need to reduce your personality to make someone else feel secure. You don't need to hide your intelligence. You don't need to pretend that you are less capable than you actually are. At the same time, confidence doesn't require arrogance. You can shine while remaining kind. You can succeed without putting other people down. You can recognize your value without believing you're better than everybody else. That balance matters. There is also a message about the emptiness that can sometimes appear inside. If you've recently felt like you need constant entertainment, endless scrolling, shopping, activity, or stimulation just to avoid sitting with yourself, August 25th asks you to slow down. What if you don't need to fill every empty moment? What if silence isn't a problem? What if rest isn't laziness? What if you don't need to constantly transform yourself into something else? Sometimes healing begins when you stop running away from your own thoughts. Just breathe. Just exist. Allow yourself to be where you are. You don't need to have every answer today. And if somebody has tried to make you believe that your past determines your future, remember this. Your past can explain what shaped you without controlling what happens next. You can acknowledge what happened without allowing it to decide your future. You can still make new choices. You can still build something meaningful. You can still find happiness. Nobody else gets to write the ending of your story. There may be someone around you who doesn't understand your confidence. They may interpret your boundaries as arrogance. They may interpret your independence as distance. They may misunderstand your silence. Let them. Not every misunderstanding deserves an explanation. Sometimes the most peaceful response is simply continuing to live your life. August 25th is not asking you to chase approval. It is asking you to trust yourself. If someone doesn't appreciate your presence, you don't need to beg them to recognize your value. If someone doesn't notice your effort, continue improving anyway. If someone tries to discourage your dream, you don't have to abandon it. Your future does not require everybody's permission. So if you've been feeling pulled in several directions lately, return to yourself. Return to your goals. Return to your values. Return to the things that make you feel grounded. And remember, a temporary obstacle is not failure. A difficult moment is not a destroyed future. A closed door is not proof that there are no opportunities ahead. Sometimes you simply haven't reached the right door yet. August 25th carries a powerful message of faith, patience, boundaries, and movement. Something old is losing its influence. Something new is beginning to form, and you don't need to force it. Take the next step, then take another. Keep going. You may not be able to see the entire road yet, but you don't need to. You only need enough clarity to take the next step. And please remember this above everything else. Do not make yourself smaller just to make somebody else comfortable. Don't hide your ideas. Don't abandon your dreams. Don't allow another person's jealousy to become your insecurity. Don't allow somebody else's criticism to become the voice inside your head. And never forget how far you've already come. The version of you moving through August 25th has learned lessons that your past self didn't know yet. You've become wiser. You've become more selective. You've become more aware of your boundaries. And you're beginning to understand that protecting your peace doesn't mean closing your heart. It means choosing carefully who gets access to it. So move through August 25th with calm confidence. You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to answer every person. You don't need to explain every decision. You don't need to announce every goal. Keep some things sacred. Work quietly. Grow quietly. Heal quietly. And when the results arrive, let them speak for themselves. The people who are meant to understand you will understand you. The people who genuinely care about you will support you. And the people who only wanted access to your energy will eventually reveal themselves through their actions. Your responsibility is not to control them. Your responsibility is to remain true to yourself. So take a deep breath. Release what no longer belongs in your life. Stop carrying old opinions into your new chapter. Stop postponing what truly matters. Stop doubting every step simply because someone else doesn't understand where you're going. August 25th is your reminder that you are still moving forward. The road may not be perfectly smooth. There may still be unexpected turns. There may still be obstacles. But you are not going backward. You are learning. You are growing. You are becoming stronger. And most importantly, you are remembering who you are. Do not dim your light for anyone. Keep your heart open, but keep your boundaries strong. Keep your dreams alive, but allow some of them to remain private. Keep moving even when the final destination isn't completely visible. And trust that the next chapter can be better than the one you're leaving behind. August 25th is not the end of your journey, Gemini. It is another step toward the life you've been trying to create. And this time, you're taking that step with more wisdom, more self-respect, greater clarity, and a deeper understanding of your own worth.